Welcome to N3 Ninja on the Next News Network. Unmasking the narrative, one strike at a time. How many times do you have to be told a system is completely broken before you stop sending it your money? President Trump just dropped a post on Truth Social that shatters whatever credibility the UN had left. For months, the narrative from the establishment was that UNRWA just had a few bad apples, a rogue element, just a handful of folks who went off the rails. That was the line we were fed to keep the funding alive. But what happens when the bad apples are the ones actually running the orchard? Total collapse. A USAID Inspector General report found that more than 100 UNRWA employees participated in the Hamas atrocities on October 7th. As a result, the agency officially referred over 100 current or former UNRWA workers to the State Department. 100 employees. That is not a lone wolf scenario. That is a systemic failure. When you have triple digits of your staff participating in atrocities, your organization isn't just compromised, it is functioning as a terror syndicate. The media tried to tell us it was just a tiny fraction of workers, but the evidence escalates. The USAID report details specific individuals. One former UNRWA school teacher, who is also identified as a Hamas operative, is officially accused of receiving and holding civilian hostages. Just picture the UNRWA PTA meetings. We really value education here. We focus on reading, writing, and aggressively guarding kidnapped civilians in our spare time. Another UNRWA official, a school principal, was debarred after coordinating with suspected Hamas members during the actual attacks. The report makes it clear this isn't over. More referrals are expected, and they include possible criminal referrals straight to the Justice Department. A principal, a teacher, the very people tasked with educating children were running point for a massacre, and they were cashing checks from a United Nations agency while doing it. They weren't hiding. They were in charge. They held titles. They held hostages. You don't have to agree with this part, but the pattern is undeniable. We have allowed the shield of humanitarian aid to cover up absolute monsters. We treat these massive global agencies as untouchable, neutral charities. But when you pour money into a system with zero accountability, the bad guys don't just skim off the top. They put on the uniform. They take the salaries. They use the UN branding as camouflage. It is time to burn that camouflage to the ground. That's it for this N3 Ninja update. Stay sharp and keep watching.